Yeah, that's hard because then, so how do people start? How do we start from home and how do we help?
So that's a great question, Peyton. I think that the biggest thing that we're trying to do is we're really trying to start a global movement around sustainability in the single-use plastic space. You know, understanding that we as consumers have the power to make choices on what we purchase is the biggest impact that we can make. So by cutting down on the single-use plastic that we're consuming, and for anyone at home that's new to this space, the easiest ways to get involved, think about just bringing for example, just bringing a reusable cup, a reusable mug anywhere you go. You know, whenever you're heading out the door, grabbing a bottle and refilling your water. I mean, has a huge impact. The amount of single-use plastic water bottles that are purchased around the world is unbelievable. And those are one of the items that we can really cut down on. I mean, the same thing goes for like cutlery, bringing a reusable cutlery set out when you go out to eat, trying to bring a different container, a dish container that you can use for, instead of using styrofoam boxes. Styrofoam is another one of those items that's incredibly hard to recycle that our teams are collecting a ton of. But it's really just kind of getting involved in the space. And it's not only just cutting down on your single-use plastic, but it's actually, or single-use plastic consumption, but it's the movement around the world that we're trying to create. Because at the end of the day, you know, corporations are producing plastic for these brands, and these brands are producing the plastic for consumers. And like, if we can make it trendy, you know, the goal is to make it trendy and mainstream in a sense that, like, you know, back in the day, everyone used to think like sustainability was, you know, just like someone like a hippie or someone that didn't shower, but we're really trying to make it trendy and cool to the point where people can really say, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to bring my reusable cup, reuse my cutlery, and bring all my materials with me. And at the end of the day, if we can start that snowball effect, then eventually we can shift the entire amount of plastic being produced, because right now it's increasing at an exponential rate. And that's one of the hardest things we're finding is, like, you know, cleaning the ocean alone will not solve the ocean plastic crisis. That's what we try and tell everyone. It's like, you know, our captains and crews, they're out there cleaning these beaches, just to a matter of few days later, the same exact beaches are polluted with plastic. You know, we're kind of sitting on a treadmill. So like, we got to find a way to turn it off at the tap, you know, and cut off the amount of plastic that's ending up in the ocean. And I mean, it's a pretty loaded question because there's so many things that are there where it's tough to, you know, to do as far as legislation. Cutting down the amount of plastics produced, it's waste management infrastructure. There's so many things that need to change, but it really does all start with us as a consumer. So like little steps, just like bringing your reusable bottle or cutlery set, like you said, or like yes, is exactly what we can do.
Yeah, wow. I can't even imagine going back to the beach that you just cleaned and seeing it in the exact same condition that you saw it a few days before. Does that get really wearing? Like, how does everyone keep going? And
It's, you know, it's tough. I mean, it is pretty crazy to think, like, and our team works so hard. They do such an amazing job. All our captains and crews around the world, and to see, you know, some of these areas that are polluted, it's just like I said, sitting on a treadmill. And that's why we're trying to leverage like platforms like this, social media, and the various different platforms to try and start that movement. Because if we don't get the momentum, then it's only getting worse and worse year after year. So I mean, it's just going to keep getting worse, and more plastic and continue to end up in the ocean, you know, as more of this plastic is being produced.
yeah, well, it's amazing the business that you've started. And if everyone wants to purchase a bracelet, where do they go?
Yeah, so you can visit 4ocean.com. You can follow us on our social media channels at 4ocean. But we sell all different products online, made out of recycled materials, some including a portion of or entirely out of the plastic we collect. And then every single product that is purchased, we remove 1 pound of trash from the ocean.
It's amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time and for
Course.
coming on and sharing this message and giving us some solutions that we can do at home and things we can implement ourselves. I really appreciate it.
Of course. I appreciate you having
Happy World Water Day.
you. All right. Have a good one.
You too.